Hey, welcome back to Gelzo Sports. You got the guys with you tonight, Mike and Zach. Best show on TV or the interwebs or anywhere. And we're going to break it all down for you. We got the NFL playoffs, we got the Super Bowl, conference championship games, all kinds of great stuff. Zachary, how is it going, man?
I don't think we're the best show. I don't know about that.
Hey, that's what at least one of our viewers has told me. At least one. There might have been one and a half. Hey, we weren't even related to this guy, so that means something.
How do you get a half?
I don't know, but I'm going to take everything that I can get. So at least one and a half people who are not related to you and I have said that this is the best damn sports show on the interwebs. So I'll take it, man.
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
I wasn't tired till I just started talking like 2 minutes ago, so I'm tired now.
Yeah, I tend to have that effect on people. You see my ugly mug and you're like, "Oh, I'm getting tired. Look at the time. Need to go do something else. Watch the ninth rerun of Pawn Stars or something."
You look like a floating head. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm working on my production value and it ain't doing me any justice, man. Um, but I got the blur going in the background, which is cool, but I
Hmm.
sure still have not figured out the lighting, what works, what does not work, and it ain't working. So I don't like the floating head thing. That kind of sucks. But
Yeah.
anyway, floating head or not, we got a matchup in the Super Bowl rematch of 2 years back, the Kansas City Terminators versus the Philadelphia Eagles. That's right.
I don't know where they're playing. Do you know?
To New Orleans, I believe. Superdome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that the Superdome blows up so both teams lose. That's what I hope happens. These teams stink.
What are you talking
I don't.
about? They're in the Super Bowl, man.
Well, it's not really the teams. I don't have a problem with the teams. I just don't like the fan bases. I think the fan bases suck. So it kind of ruins the team for me. That's kind of like the Bengals. Like I don't have a problem with the Bengals. I just don't like the Bengals fans.
I didn't think the Bengals had any fans. Well, just when they win.
Yeah, just when they win. When
Mm,
they suck, no one cares. But I don't know. It should be a good game. Um, just hope it doesn't come down to something silly. And it's just a football game. Let them play. Let them play.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
This, for the Bills Chiefs game, I've never seen this, but they had the rules analyst in the booth with them,
Mhm.
and every single little thing they were analyzing after the play. Oh, what do you think about this? And I've never seen that before. And I'm not on the bandwagon of some conspiracy with officiating. I'm not, but I haven't ever seen something like that. I think the NFL was trying to address what some people were saying about fixed games and timely penalty calls. So they stuck that guy up there in the booth with him. I don't know his name, but I thought that was interesting. I just hope that's not part of the big game and they let him play. Last time they played, they let him play the whole game until the fourth quarter. So hopefully
Yeah.
they can just
Yeah.
have it the entire time this time.
Yeah, traditionally the Super Bowl doesn't tend to have a whole lot of zebra involvement, not a whole lot of flags out there. Yeah, I mean, it. I heard people at work today talking about, well, the Chiefs always get the calls, blah blah blah. There's morons out there thinking that the NFL got the matchup they wanted because the refs are always on the Chiefs side and all that crap. What's some other stuff? Chiefs make more money for DraftKings if they make it to the Super Bowl, stuff like that. It's just, look, when you're really successful like that, you tend to get more calls. The same thing happened to Patriots all those years. It's nothing different.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with it, honestly, because winning and losing doesn't come down to what the referees do. It comes down to what you do. And one thing I'll say, and we can shut up about it. Everyone's so mad about the
What do you say?
Chiefs.
Yeah. Mhm.
If everyone's so mad about the Chiefs winning, and they're claiming that these referees are on their side and there's some agenda. Why don't you go bet on the Chiefs? Since you know what's going to happen every time, go bet on them. You're complaining about it, do something about it. Go get money if you're so invested and you think that this is going on. Go make money off of it. Do something about it. Stop sitting there and complaining. I don't bet, but a lot of these people, they're mad because they lose money on these games. Don't bet against the Chiefs. But what I'm saying, don't bring up these excuses about the refs. You know what? If you think that there's something shady going on, put in $100, say Chiefs are winning. Go make some money off of it. I'm over it. We can shut up about it right now. You don't need to say anything else.
I got to say something, man, because I think you got it right there. Yeah, lots of Chief haters out there. And yeah, if you think that it's rigged toward them, then freaking bet on them and shut up. Yeah, cash
Free
out your
money.
cash out your point zero 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 one $25 of Bitcoin and drop it all on DraftKings or ESPN bets or one of 1,000 different Caesars sports book, whatever it is. Drop it on the Chiefs. Collect your $1 winning and just shut up about it. So let's move on. No more ref talk. Who the hell wants to talk about the refs? Not me.
No. I don't have too much to say about the conference title games. Kind of went how we expected. The Commanders' luck ran out, and they figured out what they were doing. They didn't let Jaden Daniels run around out there like he has. They still didn't cover the out route from Zach Ertz, which is weird. Every single time it was third down or fourth down, they'd run that, and they still didn't cover it. But luck ran out, and then Josh Allen and the Bills didn't get it done when it mattered. So that was expected. For the actual game, though, it should be a fun game. I don't like the Eagles. I like Saquon and Jalen Hurts, but the Chiefs defense is really good. I think the Eagles had the number one defense this year.
Yes, he did.
So I could see this being low scoring.
Yeah, I could if you go back to the game the other day, the Chiefs scored in the 30s for the first time this year, which is crazy when you think about it, considering how many games they won. This is the first time this year they scored in the 30s. I think this could be a similar score, 31-28, 31-27, something like that. It's either that or it's going to be something not much. Yeah, 17-14. I do think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a field goal or less separation, so points are going to be at a premium. I'm sure we'll talk about this. In this particular game, you got to take the points if you get a chance. Fourth down and three at the 31-yard line. Kick the field goal. Okay, you're going to need those 3 points at the end because somewhere along the line, both of these teams are going to probably go for two and not make it. Unless it's at the very end, the Chiefs have to have it. They get it because they probably will. Um, but you got to take the points every time.
Yeah, I agree. And teams haven't done that in playoffs and they've lost. So, especially in a game like this, you just take the points. Doesn't matter how you feel or momentum or whatever. You take 3 points and you go get a stop on defense. But I'm thinking I'm thinking it won't be too high scoring. I don't think that Kansas City's gonna have a explosive offensive game out of nowhere. And the Eagles, they'll have a plan for Kelsey and for Worthy on the outside. So it'll be interesting to see. Kareem Hunt's been playing well. He's a good
Mhm.
step for them. And that O line against the Georgia Bulldogs out there,
Yeah.
single guy from the Eagles is um, from there. But that'll be a great matchup with the Chiefs O line and their D line. And then Chris Jones for the Chiefs on the other side with a struggling Eagles offensive line who has been probably the best, but in the playoffs they haven't looked like it.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that works out. This game is going to be really nice, or the off week is going to be really nice for the Eagles. because who was that? Dickerson was brought in to be center last week, and I mean they won the game. They dominated. And they had 290 yards rushing or something insane like that. But they need Jurgens, who I guess was active, but they set him out last week. He's their center, took over for the great Jason Kelsey. They're going to need everybody as healthy as possible against the Chiefs, Chris Jones, and that pass rush. Um, then you get Steve Spagnuolo, the Kansas City defensive coordinator, who always seems to have an answer at the right time. And they bring guys like Bolton or McDuffie on a corner blitz, um, just when you don't expect it, and it tends to make plays. So the the vaunted Eagles offensive line is going to have to be operating on all cylinders. I'm going to say this right up front. Um, your great grandfather, my grandfather, Steve, he was from Chester. He's a Philly guy. We buried him in his Philadelphia Eagles sweater. I imagine that I mentioned that before on one of our earlier episodes.
100 times, 100
Absolutely.
times.
But um, so I do, being a Dallas Cowboys fan, it sounds odd, but I do have a soft space in my heart for the Eagles. I want to say this. The Eagles are going to have to play a darn near perfect game to beat the Chiefs. And even if they do that, they're going to need to make the Chiefs screw something up or not let them have the ball with a chance to run out the clock or score at the end. So the as good as the Eagles are, they just until somebody puts a dagger in the Chiefs' heart, twist it out, holds the heart out Indiana Jones style for some of you who that was well before you were born. And then they throw that heart into Mount Doom or something, so it just disintegrates. You cannot let the Chiefs have the ball with a chance to run the clock out or a chance to win the game because until proven otherwise, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, my thing is just it's really the Eagles' offense against the Chiefs' defense because Mahomes and Kelsey, they're so elite. They're going to make plays. They're just going to. And my thing is that interior O line for the Eagles kind of busted up. Like you said, the week off is helpful, but Saquon, he does his best when he gets to the outside. And the one thing about the Chiefs, they have Tranquil and they have Bolton, like you said,
Yeah.
that their horizontal speed, kind of like the Longhorns had, like they just fly across the field. So they really like to get to the outside. And it's one thing to get to the outside, but you got to tackle Saquon. So you might be there, but can you bring him down? I don't know.
Well, he'll
That'll,
he'll he'll spin out of the way, PlayStation 5 style. He'll jump over you backwards. We've seen that.
yeah, exactly. So that remains to be seen how that's going to play out there. But I really think that in the Super Bowl, it's always the guys you don't think about that make the big plays. The backup, Kenneth Gainwell. When Saquon goes out for those plays he rests, Gainwell is going to have to go in there and he's going to have to produce on those plays. You can't just have a significant drop off. He's going to have to get 3-4 yards. He's going to have to catch a pass in the flats. So I really think it's going to be those guys for the Chiefs. Watson, their receiver, I think he's 84.
Yeah.
He always has quiet, really good games. He'll have 4 catches for 32 yards and a touchdown. And you forget about the touchdown after the game's over, but it was a big play in that moment. And then Juju, he's been playing pretty well in the playoffs. He kind of had a resurgence, had a weird dip in his career a couple years
Mhm.
ago. He was
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
Steelers, and he produced really well. Then he fell off, but he's found a good home in Kansas City. He's been making plays. So guys like that are going to be the ones that win you the game.
I can see DeAndre Hopkins making impact in this game. We kind of forget about him because he kind of gets lost in the shuffle with the Chiefs. Who else? Last week Worthy had a great game. he is so fast off of the line. Man-to-man coverage is almost a no-no with him. But even Hollywood Brown had some stretch plays out there. He's back, look like he's full speed. So after a long time, it seems like, since Tyreek Hill left the Chiefs, the Kansas City does have some excellent speed out there, wide receiver.
I wouldn't be surprised if they get the ball and the first play of the game they run some little swing pattern to Xavier Worthy and just let him go.
Yeah,
And I was there in Dallas when Texas did that to OU. He took it 75 yards to the house first play of the game. So
yeah, yeah.
that guy has elite speed, and the secondary for the Eagles has been fantastic with Mitchell, DeJean, Blankenship, all those guys, even Slay, who I
Hmm.
will bring up later. I think they should attack Slay because he's had some emotional games in the playoffs where they get in his head a little bit. And, talk about getting in someone's head. AJ Brown for the
I was going to bring up AJ Brown. Yeah, yeah,
He's the X factor. He's the X factor because if he had a touchdown in the first Super Bowl with the Chiefs, I think he had a great game. But he when he's on, you can't stop that guy, and he just catches everything. He routes you up, he runs by you, he runs you over, and he will get in your head. Even if he's not making plays, he's gonna screw with you. And
yeah.
you're
He's linebacker sized out there, and he would be a great interior rebounder in the NBA because he would box out. You would be able to get around him. But he's that guy for my Ted Lasso fans out there. He's like Jamie Tart. He's the prick. Okay, he gets into the opponent's head. He makes them crazy. AJ Brown is good at doing that. Now on the other side, you know who's good at that? The Chiefs. One, Travis
Kelsey.
Kelce. Yeah, Kelsey's really good at that as well. That makes a difference. I know Kelsey didn't have much of a game this past weekend against Buffalo. It seemed like he was a decoy most of the time, or they were bracketing him. A couple of guys. I think Buffalo went into that game thinking, okay, Kelsey's not going to beat us. But the thing is, Mahomes is so good he can get the ball to whomever. But yeah, Kelsey can get in your head. AJ Brown definitely. And on the biggest stage, there's going to be some fireworks out there.
I'm telling you, man, the Eagles don't cover the middle of the field very well. And that's where Travis Kelsey does all his work. He just runs out there, he finds space, and he sits in the space, gets a big catch. And then his run after catch is fantastic. He gets a lot of extra yards. So they don't cover the middle of the field well at all. And he's going to make plays. It's not going to be one of those silent games from him. Like you said, the Bills aren't going to let Kelsey beat him, but Kelsey, he makes the big plays in the Super Bowl. And
Yeah.
I'm, back to Slay. I think that if you could match up Kelsey with Slay in the slot somehow, then he could cook him all game. So, and the Eagles, they'll adjust to that, and they have good linebacker play, but the middle of the field, all game, it's going to be there.
Yeah. I think that you read about this stuff about connections with quarterbacks and receivers, and um, just over the years, you had Peyton Manning and Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison. Um, you know, you get I don't know why I went back that far. It didn't make any sense. Here, let me bring back the glory days of the Cowboys: Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Drew Pearson, Roger Staubach for the old heads out there. But let me just fast forward just a little bit here. It seems like Mahomes and Kelsey just operate on a different wavelength than everybody else. And when they need to make a play, and that play might be a third down and four, and they get five, it's going to make a difference. They're going to make a difference down near the goal line. I already talked about how points are going to be a premium in this game. If you can get that touchdown, it's huge. Um, But yeah, I expect both those two guys, AJ Brown and Travis Kelce, to have a touchdown grab in this game.
I agree. And it's interesting because he won the Heisman Trophy we haven't even talked about him, but Smitty, Devontae Smith, he's been kind of quiet in the playoffs, and I think this is a space where he can really break out. And
Yeah,
the Chiefs have good corners, but they're really built on their front seven and the pressure they bring. And Jalen Hurts, he likes to stand in the pocket. And I think they're going to have a lot of short stuff, hitches, slants, stuff like that. And I think that's where Devontae Smith can really be active, is he can get across the middle and just go. We saw that when OU went down to Miami. They just
mhm.
ran a slant route to him and Ruggs. Was it Ruggs?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, it
uh,
was. Yeah,
Jerry Jeudy? Those guys, they just ran slants. That's all they ran. And
yeah,
Smitty would catch one, Ruggs, Judy, they'd catch them, take it to the house. So you're not going to take it to the house in the NFL, but just those simple, quick routes and just get the ball out quick. Don't let the pressure get there. It's going to help them a lot.
yeah. 15 yards right there, man. Yeah,
Easy.
yeah. It makes a big difference. Interesting you brought up Jalen Hurts. I think you said something about how he holds the ball. He tends to hold the ball quite a bit. I know that a lot of the routes that the Eagles run are these late developing routes downfield. And because you've got to respect both Barkley and Hurts running the ball, I think defenses tend to back off just a little bit in regard to that. But you see Devontae Smith, he's a life guy out there. He's a stick figure. He's probably 160 pounds after eating the Golden Corral buffet. Um, but you see him just going flashing across the field, and he gets open, he gets in that open space that you're always talking about, and he makes plays. Lots of just great talent out there. I was talking with a couple of guys at work today who were, one is a big Ravens fan, one's a big Lions fan, and we were talking about the talent. And say what you want about the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the king until somebody cuts their head off, but just so much talent out there on the field on both sides, even the special teams in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. The Chiefs have won multiple games by blocking kicks, having great punt returns, kick returns, and they have a pretty automatic kicker. Had some, I think he was injured towards the middle of the season, but he's back now.
Yeah, he had some kind of surgery, but it was late. He was gone in 3 games. The One of the X factors, I can't even think of the dude's name. Whoever has been returning kickoffs for the Chiefs doing a hell of a job.
Yeah,
Um,
I
I
don't
want to
know.
say Michi, but I could be wrong here.
Michi.
We have the power to look this stuff up, though, man. I can do this right now. This is really cool. It's called the internet. It's really cool. Uh,
Oh, doing that. We were
oh,
talking about what's his
Nico Remigio.
name? Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
Nico's,
he
but
he he brings that ball out to the 40-yard line sometimes. Now, it's going to be one thing. It's going to be interesting to see, with the new kickoff rules and everything. Um, Last year's Super Bowl did not have one returned kick. I remember reading about that recently. It'd be interesting to see how that works with this. I mean, they're playing in the dome, so are the kickers just going to kick it deep, start everything at the 30, or I wonder how they're going to do that.
I don't know. But special teams, it says it in the phrase special. It's special. It's important. It's something you have to focus on. And these two teams, they made it to this point because they emphasize that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some big time play, a punt return, maybe a kickoff return for a touchdown. And that could be something that sparks this. My first Super Bowl memory was Devin Hester taking that opening kickback. I think the Bears that game.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I
Bears,
remember that we were at that
the goals.
random person's house and they had the balloons up for
Yeah.
the
That game
Bulls.
was, it was in the rain. I don't remember where it was, but it was raining.
Miami, I think, the old Miami
Yeah,
Stadium.
probably was. Yeah, that was Peyton Manning's lone Super Bowl win. Well, actually, sorry, he
Broncos,
got
man.
he got the other one in Denver, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was his lone Super Bowl in Indianapolis. Yeah. Well, first Super Bowl memory. That's wild. That's
I
about.
anything besides the balloons and the kickoff return. That's
Was
all
that
I,
2007, 2008, something like that?
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, special teams play can spark uh, a win for either team.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And yeah, just take the points, kick the field goal. It's okay if you kick a 23-yard field goal. It's okay. It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Yeah, we've talked about before with all these the teams tending to go for it on fourth down and situationally it's fine. And we've seen obviously with the brotherly shove or the tush push with Philadelphia, anytime they've got third down at one or fourth down at one, that's what they're going to do. And they're going to keep doing it until you stop it. Saw that crazy sequence of events against Washington when they were inside the 1 yard line and all that, and ref saying, giving him a warning that he could award Philly points, which is actually in the rule book. I don't think that they wanted to do that or were going to do that, but it was interesting that that's something that was brought up. But the Chiefs, they can do so much with Mahomes back there. He rolls out, he bootlegs. I gotta pause for a minute. Okay, we're back. I had a tickle in my throat there. That was weird. I don't know where that came from, but hey, you know, I'm back. It's good
All
stuff.
right. So
So we got 5 minutes.
yeah. So one thing I'm gonna say is that pass rush for the Eagles is elite, and even if they have great coverage, you can't let Pat roll out and use his legs. He makes big plays with his legs when they have to have it. So I think that's one thing that they're gonna have to stop, even if they spy with a lineman, a D lineman. Um, they cannot let him make those plays and scramble for first downs. They have to make him throw the ball downfield.
Yeah, yeah. They're gonna need to make him do that. And the thing is, the dude is a magician back there. He yeah, he throws a ball sideways, he pitches it upside down, he does a pirouette and throws it. He's parallel with the ground and gets the ball out. And he's a baller too, just like Jalen Hurts, man. Those two guys, they will run it into the secondary and try to take a safety out if they need to get that first down.
Right.
On the other side, Jalen Hurts, no, he has design runs that he does. I don't think every now and again Patrick Mahomes might have that bootleg that he does. But Jalen Hurts definitely has design runs. So I don't know if you spy him. I mean, he's not the threat to run that Lamar Jackson or Jaden Daniels is.
Yeah, so my thing, he likes to stand in the pocket when he throws, and he doesn't like to get outside of it. But I'm thinking if he does get pushed out of the pocket, that's when he needs to go. I don't know how many of their play calls are going to be designed runs in this game. Maybe if that's how they're feeling, let's go out there, run the ball 45 times, and that'd
Mhm.
be great. That probably helped them a lot because it would wear down the Chiefs.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
him getting out of the pocket on pass plays, it's not what he wants to do. But instead of having to throw it on the run, that's when you take off. And the Chiefs still have something in place to make sure that they stop that. But I think really the QB's legs, that's going to be huge in this game. There's going to be plays here and there in the second quarter. The Chiefs go down and they get a field goal, but it's because on 3rd and 8, they got 8.5 on a scramble.
Yeah,
So
that's
just
right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, watch out for those third down plays. Um, if it was 3rd and 6 and the Chiefs get five, or same thing with Philly. They get the short yardage, man. It's almost a guaranteed first down either way. And uh, I tell you, it kind of sucks that we have this weekend that we don't have it, but it's good for the teams to get healthy. And glad we had a good show tonight. So let's finish it up with our Super Bowl predictions and our MVP picks. You go first.
All right. Well, one thing I'll say is I wonder what the Kansas City trick play this year is going to be on the goal line or at midfield that they try to steal some yards. They'll probably call it cheeseburger or something crazy like that. I think it was corn dog
Oh,
last year.
yeah,
Something
yeah.
like that. I really think Barkley is going to be used in the passing game. He's shown the ability to run good routes, especially down the sideline. So I like the Eagles. I don't think they're going to win. I think that it's a three-peat, first time ever. And I think it's going to be 27-21. And more than likely, it normally goes to the quarterback. I remember when these two played a few years ago, it should have went to Jalen Hurts, one of the best performances ever in the Super Bowl, but they
Yeah.
lost. So I'll take
Yeah.
Pat and 27-21 Chiefs.
Okay. Yeah, I've been telling anybody who will listen until the Chiefs get knocked off, it's almost impossible to beat them. I'd love to see Philly win this game. I really would. I like both teams. I'm not a bandwagon fan on either side. I've liked the Chiefs forever, and of course, with my granddad with Philadelphia. So this is not a bandwagon pick, but I'm going. I know history is against it, but I'm going with the historic three-peat, taking the Chiefs. Going to be a close game throughout. I would be surprised if there was more than a touchdown spread between the two teams the entire game. Um, I'm going to take them. They kick a field goal late when the game is tied to win. Okay. I'm going to say they get the ball back with about a minute 20 and they go down the field and kick it, probably getting a fourth down or two along the way. I'm going to take the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl for the three-peat. Final score is 27-24. So, anyway, hey folks, take that to the bank. Go bet all your money. You're actually, if you're really smart, don't do that. But uh, thank you for tuning in, Jaws on Sports. Thanks for the great comments. People been asking where we've been, and this is two shows in 2 weeks. So, man, we're kicking it. So, have a good night. Thank you. Horns down. We'll see you.